Hi, I'm Tori, and today I'm going to be reviewing Wicked Plants by Amy Stewart. I listened to the audiobook version of this, narrated by Colleen Marlowe, but then I also checked out the hard copy from my library so that I can kind of see what it looks like. And it is a very fun little book, and it has some fun sketches and kind of drawings of the plants and some fun fonts, things like that. So some of these pictures are really fun and interesting. This book is all about different plants that can be evil or wicked or do different things. So that includes poisonous plants, it includes plants that are abused, like substance abuse plants. It includes all different kinds of plants, anything that has ever been misused. It included plants that in some cultures are used commonly for suicides. And it was interesting, a lot of the plants that are very poisonous and stuff, it would talk about actually being used in like medicines and stuff, like so in small doses they're used in like drugs and things to help people actually get better, so that was interesting. So this book is, informative, it's nonfiction, but it's also very melodramatic. So it has and it was partly the audiobook I listened to, the narration was fabulous. It was this woman with this very sinister kind of voice talking about the dangers of these evil plants. So I would say that the best time to read this book would be on like a Halloween camp out where you're on a camping trip and you're outside and you're surrounded by plants and it's Halloween and you want to scare yourself and you want to hear, oh my gosh, all the dangerous plants lurking out there waiting to poison you or give you rashes or all these different things. And it would be great just to read around a campfire as like a scary story of plants, and so that was fun. It would talk about different plants and how they're related, so it would talk about a plant and say, oh, this plant is a member of this family, and you've heard like eggplant is a member of the nightshade family. So things like that were kind of interesting. It was fun. I love the play South Pacific, and there's a song about a woman who's native to the South Pacific that all the soldiers call Bloody Mary. And there's this whole song about her, and it says, Bloody Mary's chewing beetle nuts. And there's this whole thing about her chewing these nuts, and I found out what beetle nuts are. There's something, like people use them kind of in place of chewing tobacco in some cultures. And so now I know what that is, and so that was really interesting. Now I know why Bloody Mary chews beetle nuts. So it could be a little bit melodramatic and over-exaggerate things. Like one of the plants it included was corn can be a wicked plant. And the reason is that if it's not soaked properly to bring out some of the vitamins and you eat nothing but corn, then you can get deficiencies in some things. So I wouldn't really call that being a wicked plant. I'd just say that you should eat more than one thing because, you'll get deficiencies if you only eat one thing your whole life. So I would say the biggest downside of listening to this as an audiobook was that I had a little bit of a hard time keeping track of what sections we were talking about, and I'm not much of an auditory learner, so I was just kind of letting it wash over me. I knew I missed some details about things, and that's why I got the paper book to look at too. But then I would say the paper book has some issues too. So some sections were titled just like this, and they were perfectly easy to read. But then if you look at like the sections on each plant, the font was really hard to read. So like this one, I know it says opium poppy because I've heard of that and I can tell what it says. But then this one I hadn't heard of before, and I think it says purple lucis strife. Like the font is just a little bit hard to read, and since these are names of things I haven't heard of before, I'm a little unsure on some of the spellings of this just because it's this really fun cursive-y, loopy, crazy font, which makes it look really cool, but then when it's something that I haven't heard of, it's a little bit hard to tell that. So I'd say it's about a 50-50 whether you should listen to the audiobook or get the physical copy. The best option is to do both, like I did, but I think either one would work. It's a really fun thing. I had a lot of fun listening to this. It was very melodramatic, and I feel like I might listen to it again around Halloween because it was just so much fun. It had that great creepy plant criminal, watch out for these dangerous plants coming to get you kind of a vibe. So I enjoyed this book. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I learned some really cool little facts about plants.